We did our presentation on protective equipment for shoulders and upper extremities.
Our group members included DJ Atherton, Emily Trippin, Zach Gonzalez, Sarah Jimenez, Melissa Catherman, and Nicholas Solomon.
The basic purposes of protective equipment are preventing injury and further injury, adding stability, provide protection to an area, give support, and immobilizing an area if necessary. Now we're going to talk about shoulder protection. The purpose of shoulder protection serves two main purposes: to absorb the shock of impact when player hits the ground, to distribute shock over a larger area, lessening the pressure on one point of impact. This is an example of when football players pile on top of each other. Used in football, lacrosse, and hockey, made of hardened foam plastic, and there are 12 different models and 4 different sizes, depending on the body shape of the athlete and the position played.
There are 2 types of shoulder pads. The first one is called cantilevered shoulder pads. These restrict shoulder motion, and there's also a strap extending from the front to the back of the shoulder pads that causes the shoulder pads to arch above the tip of the shoulder, causing pads to absorb shock rather than on shoulder directly. Also, they're used for athletes who use the shoulder to block or tackle, for example, a lineman. The second type of shoulder pad is called a non-cantilevered shoulder pad. These do not restrict shoulder motion, and they are also used for players who do not use shoulder to block or tackle, for example, a quarterback, kicker, receiver, or a youth football player. There are also additional protections. The first is called a cowboy collar. This collar is a molded collar that provides additional protection for the shoulder by helping absorb shock. The second is customized foam. This is placed on the underside of shoulder pad to provide extra protection to the AC joint as well as the clavicle.
A donut is used for AC joint protection. It provides a bubble type of protection over the AC joint, protection from further injury, and as well as absorbing shock. Last week we interviewed Josh Davis, athletic trainer from University of Laverne. He had to say about the athlete. He has an AC joint separation, degree 1. This pad is designed to help with shock absorption. When someone hits him, the pad will absorb the shock, preventing further injury. In the upper extremities, injuries to the distal aspect of the upper extremities can be functionally disabling while throwing or catching. Wrist, hand, and fingers are susceptible to many different injuries, such as a fracture, dislocation, ligament sprain, and muscle strains. The common to use is off-the-shelf and custom-made protection equipment. Now we're going to talk about elbow protection.
Elbow protection is used to protect against bursitis, elbow hyperextension, bruising, swelling, injury from direct hit, and is used in a variety of sports that encounter direct hits. The first form of elbow protection is elbow pads. They maintain protection against further injury. The support enhances healing. They help treat bursitis and can be built with a compression sleeve that helps reduce the swelling. At a Friday night football game, we interviewed Heather Harvey, ATC of A.B. Miller High School, and she had this to say. He has bursitis, which means he probably had a direct hit to the ground using his elbow, causing swelling. If we put an elbow pad and an elastic wrap on him, he can go in for the remainder of the game. He just needs to see us after the game to treat the injury. The second form of elbow protection is compression sleeves. They are elastic. The elastic pressure exerts pressure on limbs, reduces swelling and edema, improves circulation, keeps the muscles warm, reducing friction between muscle fibers, and provides protection from the sun.
The third form of elbow protection is elbow braces. They can allow and minimize range of motion, provide maximum support and comfort, warmth on an injured area, promote healing, avoid re-injuring the elbow, and can be used by athletes in many different types of sports. Now we are going to talk about wrist protection. Wrist protection is used in a variety of different sports and is used by a variety of individuals. Wrist protection prevents hyperextension, adds stability and support, helps with range of motion, and pain relief. Materials often include soft or firm materials such as plastics and Velcro. We asked Elias Levenway, former head athletic trainer from Chaffey College, on his opinion about tape jobs and the store-bought wrist braces when it came to supporting the wrist. He said, when it comes to taping wrists compared to a store-bought wrist brace, it depends on the trainer who is doing the taping, and the lack of range of motion will be less with a wrist brace versus taping. I personally like tape better because you can only make a brace so tight. which is why I like tape better. A form of wrist protection are wrist brace. They support sprains and strains, add compression, help with range of motion, protect against further injury, add stability to wrists, and it is often seen being used by athletes in football, baseball, softball, and track and field.
Now we're going to talk about the different forms of hand protection. Certain sports and team positions require protection of the athlete's hands. This protection adds stability to fingers, protects the joints within the hand, protects the skin, and helps protect against joint dislocation, broken bones, hyperextensions, bruising, and blisters.
This is our works cited page. Thank you for watching our video.